Good morning, class. So, our lesson for today for engineering utilities will be the sources of potable water and yung quality ng potable water, the processes involved in purifying and then taking off unwanted elements dun sa ating water or drinking water, the water usages, at kung paano natin ikino-convey yung water. Paano ba yun? Kung paano natin tinatransport yung water. So, that is plumbing. So the basics of plumbing based on our building codes. Since our entire topic nga is about the building system, number one is in plumbing. So let us begin our discussion. Our discussion will first begin with the sources of potable water. Now we define what is potable water. Potable water. Ano natin? Tignan natin yung anatomy of the words. Potable. Potable. Ibig sabihin, certain joke nung ako nag-elementary hindi ko makuha ito. Potable, ibig sabihin mailalagay mo sa pot. Pot. Pots. Ayan o, pots. Ibig sabihin mailalagay mo sa banga, sa lalagyan. And pwede mo siyang inumin. Drinkable water or clean water. That is potable water. Now, ano ba yung mga objective natin dito? After this discussion, you can name or can distinguish yung sources of your potable water. And number two, you can describe key types and the plumbing components and the distribution system ng water. And then identify the types of and uses of water heater. Pero ito, wag na natin i-focus kasi most of this one is very specific. I want to discuss to you the broader ones, yung magagamit for the entire engineering sciences. Now, as a refresher, the sources of water, sources of fresh water. The sources of fresh water. Ibig sabihin, fresh. Wala kang ibang halong chemical, natural. That is all natural. It came from the nature itself. That is fresh water. Either it is seawater, it is brackish water, still it is fresh water. Without any unwanted elements, any unwanted pollutants. That is fresh water. Now, it can be drinkable, and one of the most basic needs ng tao, that is water. Without water, you can't live. Sabi nila, 10 days without food, okay. 2 days, 3 days ata without or 1 day without water, you're dead. And most of the earth's water is seawater. Sea water. Sabi nila 75% of the earth is water. No, that is 75% of the earth is seawater. And about 2.5% is fresh water only. So, ang dami nating iniinom na tubig, sir. Magtatanong kayo. Pero bakit parang hindi tayo naubusan? Actually, sa Pilipinas, by data, ang source ng water natin, marami tayong dams, pero nagkukulang tayo. Bakit? That is controlled by the conglomerates. And hindi naman lahat ng yon is pwede nating inumin. About, I think, by data, 30% of those reserve waters on the dams on Luzon can be processed to be drinkable only. And worldwide, 2.5% is water. And 2/3 of that, sabi dito, are still frozen in ice and glaciers. Hindi ibig sabihin, hindi yan kasama sa sa Pilipinas. And underground reservoirs are an important source of water supply for many people. Humans use wells, mga deep wells, kaya pag nakita nyo sa mga probinsya, nagbubutas sila ng lupa, yung bumobomba, that is not yet drinkable water. Kailangan yun, it will undergo boiling. Kaya yung iba, nilalagyan nila yung muso, yung nozzle ng medyas, pang filter. But hindi yun yung tamang filtration system. for the water to be drinkable. We will discuss that later. Dalawang uri ng water management systems ang i-discuss ko sa inyo. And pag wala kang source of water like streams, like seawater, like mga mountain dews, ang ginagawa mo, nagdi-deep well ka talaga. For remote areas, deep well. To tap, yan daw, to tap renewable and non-renewable aquifers. Mamaya, discuss natin yan. Which quench their thirst and water the crops. As far as I can remember, I watched a video. Depende yan per country, depende per continent. So, bandang Africa, how do they find water? Sabi doon sa video na yon, it featured a Mahalahariman. Yung Mahalahariman is a native of Africa. And then he used a monkey to search for fresh water. How did he do it? He dug a hole, and then, syempre, may nanonood sa kanyang mga unggoy. Yung mga unggoy na yon is very much curious about their surroundings. So, tanong ng unggoy, ano kayang ginagawa ng Mahalahariman in the desert? Eh, wala naman tubig doon. So, the Mahalahariman dug a deep well, deep enough in order for the hand of the monkey to fit. Ngayon, yung nilagyan niya yun ng mga salt. So, kumuha yung monkey, and then, di ba, yung hole na yon enough lang siya para mag-fit in yung palm mo. Ngayon, yung pagkuha ng monkey nung salt, na gano'n niya, naging i-fist, so hindi na wala yung monkey. Since monkey yun, hindi siya makapag-isip na bitawan yung hawak niya para makawala siya. Ang ginawa ng Mahalahariman, nakuha niya yung monkey. Ngayon yung monkey, inuhaw niya ng inuhaw. Pinakain niya ng pinakain ng ng salt. Ngayon, nung nauhaw yung monkey, pinakawalan na niya. And then after niyang pakawalan yung monkey, sinundan niya yung monkey kasi alam niya that monkey has natural instincts of finding water into places you can never find water on your own. Yan yung technique nila. And that varies from country to country. Dito, paano ka daw makakita ng tubig? Dali lang. So, rivers and lakes contain only small amount of Earth's water. That is true. But these surface waters are crucial. Kaya nga, ginagawa natin sila ng protected watershed. Ano ba yung watershed na yun? That is man-made. Man-made. Tinataniman natin ng puno, protected watershed, yan yung katulad ng Lamesa Dam, para ma-contain natin yung fresh water na nandun at maalagaan natin. Like some of the aquifers, they are constantly replenished when water moves from the atmosphere to Earth and again through the water cycle. So we have the water cycle. Now, wait, move muna ito. Let me move this one. Okay. Now, the sources of potable water. Identify natin dito. Number 1, groundwater. Water held underground. So, yung mga nasa ilalim ng lupa. Most visible water sources. Yan, ang differences. Surface water, papaliwanag kayo, mas maganda may drawing. Water from the river, lake, reservoir, or ocean needs to be pumped out. Kailangan natin ibomba yan. So, glaciers, wala naman tayo sa Pilipinas eh. And glaciers, hindi dapat yan. Glaciers show you the effects of global warming. Kapag daw ang ice caps and glaciers nagmelt, ibig sabihin the Earth is gradually heating. Kaya bad to, bad. Bad na omen yan, bad na sign. And then rain. Yung rain, depende sa rain. Meron tayong acid rain. Merong mga rains na fresh water yung dala. Pero kung kayo naglalaro sa ulan nung kayo bata, pag natikman nyo yung rain na medyo parang lasang kalawang, that is an acid rain. This is liquid water in the form of droplets that have condensed from the atmospheric water vapor. Ibig sabihin, kapag mainit ang iyong place, yung init na yon mag-evaporate siya, evaporate niya yung groundwater, and then the groundwater will form into clouds. Kapag naging mabigat na yung clouds na yun, it can never hold the amount of vapor na meron siya, then it condensates. Kaya umuulan. Nagiging precipitate na siya. And then, next one. Yan. 2 drinking water sources. 2 water sources for drinking yung surface water. Yung iba, ginagamit dito yung rivers, lakes, streams, and reservoir. Depende pa yan sa coliform levels. Ano ba yung coliform levels? Those are the bacteria or the bacteria na harmful to the stomach of the people. Kaya nangyayari, nagkakaroon ka ng diarrhea, pwede ka pa mamatay. Groundwaters, aquifers. Mostly, ito yung kinukunan natin around the Luzon, NCR area. Aquifers. Now, what is an aquifer? By illustrating an aquifer, ayan, this illustration shows you two of the most common types of aquifers. Confined aquifers and unconfined aquifers. Now, let me define to you that an aquifer is never a body of water. It is not. It is a group of sand, soil, sediments that contain amounts of water. Yan ang definition ng aquifer. Sir, ano nga po ba yung aquifer? Is this a body of water? No. Okay? Let me correct you. Aquifer is not a body of water. According to Nat Geo, aquifer is anything that a soil sediment that contains small amounts of water. That is an aquifer. Now, an unconfined aquifer can receive water directly from the surface while a confined aquifer is trapped between two layers of rock. So, ito, I'll give you another example. The source of Nile River is an aquifer. It is not a mountain. It is not a glacier. And it is never a watershed. Kung makikita nyo, navigators from Britain or UK have since long been searching for the source of the Nile River. The Nile River, yan daw yung nagbuhay ng civilization of Egypt. And the Nile River came from, I think, alalahanin ko lang. Hindi, in an oasis, no? Parang nasa ano siya. Nakalimutan ko yung country, pero nasa between the rocks. So, an aquifer is the source of your Nile River. Nakalimutan ko lang yung country. Now, an aquifer is an underground layer of rock. Ayan, no? Underground layer of rock that holds groundwater. Groundwater is rain, pwedeng rain, na nag-seep in. Okay? Rain or melted snow that has seeped into the ground. Ayan. Pumasok sa ilalim ng lupa. When people drain them faster, they can be refilled. A process called aquifer depletion. Yan. Okay? For this reason, aquifers may dry up. Kapag nag-dry up siya, people drain them faster than they can be refilled. Kaya na yun ang pinagkaiba. Mas mabilis mo daw siyang dina-dry up kesa ma-refill. So, hindi nagbabalance out. So, katulad nun sa, sa Lamesa Watershed. Sabi dyan, sabi ni MWSS, Sir, sa Balita News, kulang na tayo ng tubig sa Manila kaya nagkakaroon tayong water shortage. Yes, because the supply, this demand on water or the demand on the water source is very high. Pero yung supply ng rain is very much low. Hindi maulan. Kaya, nagdi-deplete siya agad, and that is called aquifer depletion. Now, aquifers can be drained by man-made wells. Kaya, dito sa Manila, meron tayong law na kung saan you can never, now, at these times, you can never dig deep wells. Bakit, sir? Kahit sa probinsya, pinagbabawalan na yan. Bago ka kumuha ng, or mag-dig up ng well, you will have to ask for permission ng DENR. Bawal ka na lagay ng deep well. Kaya karamihan sa mga deep well na nakikita nyo sa probinsya, pinasasara na sila. Now, for the uses of fresh water, we look at the graph, okay? This is for the entire Earth. And this is, I sourced this out from EIA of USA. Look at the graph. Let's discuss the major uses of fresh water. Now, ganito siya hinati-hati. 60%, 67% is always used for agriculture. Pero how come maraming tao na nagkakaroon ng crop imbalance ng production? Okay? Yung production mo ng crop is very low. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng bansa may tubig, may natural sources of water. Like yung mga desert countries, saan po sila kumukuha ng water? I don't know, siguro deep well din. And then I'll give you an example. Pagdating sa Dubai, sabi nila kapag umulan daw dyan, isang beses lang sa isang taon. At pag umulan ng isang beses sa isang taon, ibig sabihin magpapalit na ng season. Ganun daw yan sa Dubai. Yun yung panahon na isang araw magbabaha sa kanila. And then, other uses, 3%. Sa mining, kailangan mo ng tubig. Manufacturing, yan, 4%. Electricity and gas. Electricity, itong electricity na to, ginagamit yan for hydropower. Yung water supply, yan, ito household. Ano ba yung water supply? Yung water supply can be drinkable. Itong household can never be drinkable. Kailangan yung panglinis-linis lang. And why does manufacturing account for 4% but it is the leading factor in pollution? Bakit nga ba natin bibigyan ng panahon or ng parte yung manufacturing sector, pero siya daw kasi yung pinakamalaki ang contribution sa pollution. Kasi without manufacturing, tandaan mo, hindi natin mako-cope up yung lahat ng needs natin. Hindi tayo makapag-produce ng commodities. Okay? So, that is the trade-off. Ang trade-off niya, pag binigay mo yung water sa manufacturing, it can be polluted. Mapapansin nyo, most of the banks of Pasig River, lalo na pag dumaan kayo ng C5, kaliwa kanan yan. Kaliwa kanan, kahit hanggang sa Guadalupe, kaliwa kanan ng factory. Ano yung factory na yun? Hindi na ako magbabanggit ng pangalan, pero they are subject to DENR's crackdown on the pollutants. So, nag-aano sila dyan? Nag-send sila ng mga chemists to test the water pH level, the quality of water, if it is acidic, bago nila i-release daw sa river. Ang katwiran nila is, paano namin i-treat yung wastewater namin? Wala namang pinoprovide si government water treatment plan. But it is now a requirement for any factory to have a water treatment plan. Dapat yun. Dapat noon pa ginawa ng paraan. E di sana, we're giving back the life to Pasig River. Now, how much water do we use and consume every day? So, ang tao daw, a healthy human being consumes 8 liters to 1 gallon. 1 gallon to 8 liters. 1 gallon to 8 liters of water in a day. Tama ba? 2 gallons. 2 gallons tata. Tama. So, did you know that each person in urban areas is estimated to consume 120 liters per day of water of their daily use? Ito yung mga yon. Food preparation, ginagamit natin. Sa hygiene, pagligo, pagsipilyo, drinking, laundry, and 80% of water are wastewater. Ngayon, pagdating sa Pilipinas, by data, hindi naman lahat kasi yan, hindi naman lahat yung wastewater na yan, collect natin. Anong ginagawa sa wastewater? Si nanay, si tatay, yung wastewater natin, hindi naman pwedeng panligo yan ng ating mga sakyan. Hindi naman pwedeng panligo ni bantay yan. Yung sa laundry, hindi rin pwedeng panligo. Ang ginagawa ng magulang mo, pinandidilig na lang halaman, panghugas ng ganito, ng ganyan. Pero never yan gagamitin for, yung external use sa katawan. Now, The average water consumption of each person in urban areas is 120 liters per day. Urban areas, for cities. For rural areas, it is at 60 liters per day. Ibig sabihin, sa city, mas madalas daw maligo ang tao, mas madalas maglaba. Sa rural areas, hindi daw madalas maligo. Hindi, joke lang yun. Hindi totoo yun. Urban areas have much higher water consumption due to better access to water supply. Yes, that is true. Hindi ibig sabihin na hindi naliligo si Promdi, naliligo araw-araw si City Boy, si City Girl. Hindi ganon. Because the concessionaires here in Manila and then in cities are distributing water well, pero meron din tayong shortages nagkakaroon. So most likely halos pareho lang yan pagdating ng rural areas. Yun nga lang, yung accessibility nila is mahirap. So ito yung reference natin, the World Bank Group. Okay, ito na yun. How much water do you need? Your body weight is more than 50% water. So ibig sabihin, sabi nga sa Jimmy Neutron na cartoon, sabi ng mga alien kay Jimmy Neutron, mananalo ba sa atin yung water bag na yan? Pero nanalo sa kanila si Jimmy Neutron kasi matalino siya. And kidding aside, your body weight is more than 50% of water. That is true. Kaya mga boxers, to give you an example, in order to have a weight loss a day before nung kanilang weigh-in, kapag hindi sila pumasa sa weigh-in, hindi matutuloy yung match. So, ang ginagawa nila, konting water lang and then konting food. So, ang laki na naibabawas sa kanila. Kaya minsan nakikita mo yung mga boxers, mga ganun yung mukha. Medyo yung mukha nila is sloppy na. And without water, ano ba yan? You can never maintain your normal body temperature. That is true. Number 2, lubricate your joints. Kailangan mo ng tubig dyan. And too much water, magkukos din yan ng arthritis. Or get rid of the waste through urination. Kaya tignan mo, every time na maliligo ka, di ba, naiihi ka, that is the balancing of your body for the water content mo. You sweat, and then your bowel movement. Not getting enough water can lead to dehydration, which can cause muscle weakness, cramping, kaya medyo napapagod ka, a lack of coordination, medyo ano ka pa, tawag dyan, lutang moments. And then pwede ka magkaroon ng heat stroke. Kung tayo ng tao, medyo naiinitan na, ano pa yung mga hayop. So, treat our animals well too. Then you often hear that you need to drink 8 ounces of glasses water a day. The Institute of Medicine's Food and Nutrition Board recommended that women actually need 91 ounces of water daily and men needed 125 ounces. So, mas mataas parati yung requirement ng men kasi mas mataas yung activity level nila. And then, that helps for muscle and workout. Sa babae, kailangan lang nila talaga to look vibrant. Mapapansin nyo yan sa inyong katawan. And then, ito. Siyempre, bakit pa natin tayo mga Pilipino, kailangan natin ng tubig. Para saan? For mental health. Di ba? Yan. We need this water. We need this scenery. We need water. We need... Yan. Ayusin natin yung sulat para makikita natin. We need water. We need water. Siyempre, hindi kumpleto ang water kapag walang sun. For mental health. Yan. Tandaan niyo yan, Yan. Again, kailangan natin ng tubig para mabuhay, number 1. Number 2, para maging pogi tayo. Number 3, kailangan natin ng water para ma-regulate yung ating health. And number 2, syempre, kailangan naman panay katawan na lang, di ba? Panay mukha na lang. Kailangan din natin ng tubig para sa mental health. Yan, ha? Kaya, totoo to. Tama yan. We need water for mental health. O, yan, o. Siyempre, kailangan mo maghugas ng kamay kasi nga may COVID. O, ngayon, mas magastos tayo sa water. Okay? Yan, patutuyuin natin. Siyempre, yung ating mga wet packs, kailangan natin hugasan yan. Siyempre, hygiene. Maligo. Twice a week? No. Once a day. Mag twice a week. Lugi na yon. Nakatipid ka sa tubig, pero yung character development mo, mahina. So, again, you wash your foot yan, to combat yung COVID. And then, ito na naman, wash your feet again. Yan, medyo magtanggal ng mga dead skin. Then, para sa ikabubuti ng ating pag-iitsura, and then you brush your teeth for hygiene mostly. And what is drinking water? What is drinking water? Ayun, sir, hindi naman lahat ng tubig pwede nating inumin eh. Hindi naman lahat ng fresh water pwede nating inumin. Kailangan nating i-maintain yung number 1, the pH level. Number 2, we have to test the water for the E. coli. Ano ba yun? E. coli kasi nag-cause ng yung ating diarrhea. And then pwede tayo ma-poison. And potable water is water which is fit for consumption internally, hindi externally. Internally of humans and animals. It is also called drinking water in a reference to its use. Kasi nga, iniinom natin. Kaya nga, naging internal use. Water may be naturally potable. Yes, that is true. As is the case with the pristine springs. Ano ba yung pristine? Pristine springs are springs na never nagkaroon ng contact to external world. Ano ibig ko sabihin? Sir, that is fresh. In other words, virgin. Okay? Virgin spring. Or it may need to be treated in order to be safe. Kaya nga dyan pumapasok yung water treatment plants. Now, what is the pH level? The pH level is the scale that ranges from 0 to 14, and it measures your substance from being acidic to basic. pH is a measure of hydrogen ion concentration, and it expresses the acidity of the basicity. Acidity or basicity of a solution. From acidic to basic. Pero sir, bakit naiinom naman natin yung vinegar? Ano ba ang vinegar? Acetic acid. Sir, nagiinom tayo ng orange juice. Ano ba yung orange juice? O the acid yun, anything that is maasim is acidic. Yun ay common na characteristic ng acid, maasim. Wag yung tikman yung muriatic, mamatay kayo dyan. Sinabi ni sir, maasim daw. Tikman natin, sulfuric acid. Pag ganun, yung hydrochloric, nako, hanggang buto, tunaw ka. Naalala ko tuloy, kung sino nanonood sa inyo ng Breaking Bad, 1 episode, may tinutunaw silang kalaban, di ba? Pinabibili siya ng HDPE na hindi niya binili. So, ang ginamit niya, hydrochloric acid. Totoo yun, any metal can be dissolved using hydrochloric acid. Kahit ikaw, madidissolve nun. Ang hindi lang madidissolve, HDPE, oil-based. Oil-based compound ata na yung plastic. Ayan dito, yung acidic, from 0 to 5 o 0 to 6. 0 to 6, that is acidic. And then 8 to 14, that is basic. Ang neutral is 7. Okay, tandaan nyo yan. The neutral one is 7. Ang range ng acidic is 0 to 6 and basic is 8 to 14. Tandaan nyo yan, ha? Ayan, ito na yan. Sabi dito, habang bumababa yung iyong pH level, nag-increase yung inyong acidity. Now, battery acid. Inumin mo ito, mamamatay ka. Lemon juice, ba't hindi ako namamatay, sir? Kasi nanoneutralize ng body yan. And that is natural. Vinegar, makikita nyo yun, yung ting nagsasawsaw kayo sa vinegar, medyo umiinit yung katawan nyo. Umiinit yung skin nyo. Okay? And then, ano ba ang naging effect niyan? Ito, kapag ito nahalo sa iyong atmosphere, pag nag-evaporate yan, kuwari a body of water, na ilagay mo sila, pag nag-ulan, acid rain ang palahinatnan. Ngayon, yung vinegar, the adult fish die. Yes, kasi yung fish, natutunaw yung kanyang outer scales. Fish reproduction affected. So, yun. And then, normal range, yung 5 to 6 milk. Hanggang milk yan. And then, seawater, ito medyo basic na sila. Milk of magnesia, ammonia, lye. Ano ba yung lye? Lihiya. This is poisonous din yung lye na yan. Lihiya sa Tagalog. Lihiya. And this is the pH scale. Now, that will be all for the sources of fresh water. And then, second part will be the water supply and distribution system. And we'll continue this after a short break.